did you go with the second question?
It felt kind of weird to me. Yeah, because it was the values of the Fire and Rescue New South Wales and how they contribute to the work. And I kind of just really went through each value, and then I put like a part of the job that required that value.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But I don't want to say I was confusing, because it's a very straightforward question, but it felt like all the information was just there already, if you know what I mean. Like it wasn't I didn't feel like it was so much of a personal answer. It was just kind of like, what do we do and why do we do it?
Oh, so you felt like you're regurgitating their website a bit.
Yeah, basically.
So what was the question again? Do you mind just sharing it?
Yeah, tell us how the values of Fire and Rescue New South Wales contribute to the work of a firefighter.
I guess there's an element of that is just, what do you know? What do you know about us?
That's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah. But the way that you tell that story is unique to you.
Yeah.
And I did notice when I was prepping lots of people for that interview, coaching lots of people, a lot of people had kind of like very similar
answers.
Courage is. And I think it's important to kind of, have your own interpretation on what that means. What did you say for courage out of interest?
I had, when it comes to the rescue aspect of Fire and Rescue New South Wales, courage is vital. A firefighter must put the needs of the community and service first. Courage is not only required in emergency situations, but also in standing up for others and challenging wrongdoing. But then again, that's exactly what they say, like that's like not anything else. And that's probably what a lot of people would have had, right? Like,
yeah. So what do you take from that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit confusing, really, because it's kind of like asking what do we do when you don't even really do it yet, in a way.
Yeah. So what do you think might have been, I'm not saying that it wasn't a good answer, but what might have been a more effective answer?
Well, again, I could probably go back to transferring it to like a personal value of mine, like that I take back to my everyday life and the way I live, and could kind of contribute into the service, and then learn and grow from that to expand on not only like work wise, but taking it home with you and expanding in your everyday life and the way you live with courage or something like that. Could go down that, maybe.
I mean, they are asking you, how do these values impact on the work? Is it work and life of a firefighter? Is that what they say?
Just the work.
The work of a firefighter.
But I thought you could get away from that slightly, and that would be how you would kind of stand out from the crowd a little bit, I guess. You're not just going down the whole path of work.
So Saxon, if I said to you, what do you think courage means in firefighting? What would you say? Just using your own words.
Well, it could probably go in a whole range of things, really. From the rescue aspect of the job, obviously it's pretty easy to see like what you have to do. Like you have to be ready at any time to drop and go, and probably take on situations that might be slightly out of your comfort zone. And then it could go all the way from, as I probably said before, but it's just in my head. Like it's not only the rescue aspect of the job, but it was standing up for others, whether it's your people in your service that you're looking out for, or other people like in the community, and then being there for people as well. Because in emergency service situations, there tends to be like family and friends around and all that kind of stuff, which is one of the more full-on parts of the job when you've got to deal with that. So just being there and being like the positive energy to be around and comfort them is courageous as well. So there could be a lot of things.
That was so good.
Yeah, I should have said that, shouldn't I?
Yeah. So I think what I hope you're taking away from this is that you actually need to trust yourself a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't have a script next time. Saying that courage to drop and go and get out of your comfort zone, courage to stand up, the team values, and courage to, be ready to comfort someone in a really tough situation. That takes courage, because you're just showing me who you are.
Yeah.
And it's much more
authentic.
Connecting.
Yeah.
Cool. So what do you think you can do between now and when you officially kind of start this process again?
Oh, I'll be chipping away at this like nonstop, just over in my head and stuff like that. If I find something that comes out really well, I'll try and get it down on a piece of paper so it's there, and I can refresh myself when it comes to time around. But yeah, I might not be doing too much, honestly, at the moment. I'll probably let it go for a little bit before I start settling back in. But yeah, I'll be chatting to my friends and wishing them the best of luck and learning from them, and then I'll go and move on, and I'll do it my way next time, because yeah, I know I can do it my way, but as I said, yeah, it was like first time around, wasn't quite sure. Some people were like, "Oh, you should make sure you hit this," so I kind of just went, did it. And then the more I realize now, like who of my friends are still going and who aren't, it's all come from that authentic personal side.
Yeah.
Big sign right there. But I'm glad I've learned that now. But yeah.
Yeah. So Saxon, I want to ask you something else.
Yeah.
Have you thought about going and doing a station visit?
No, I haven't.
Highly recommend you do that.
Yeah.
A couple of times. Most of the people that have done this process, and I meet people who've tried a couple of times too through FRA, have done that. It's a great way to learn. It's a great way to learn and connect with firefighters and the role. And as much as anything, I think it would be a good test it'll be quite motivating for you to go to a fire service and think, yeah, actually, this is a bit more important to me than I thought.
Yeah, one of my older friends that up near where I work at the moment did say that, because when he was trying years and years ago, he was originally doing police, and then ended up getting slightly further through in the fireys, and then when he went down to the physical testing day and everything was around, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is where I want to be. I don't want to be." So that's interesting to say that. But yeah, I do have a lot of ins there. Like I've a lot of mates that work around in local stations and stuff. So that could be quite easily done, I reckon.
I would definitely put that on your agenda for this year.
Mm.